Good everyone, today's video. Today we have a review on the P-51 C-10. This is one of the new American aircraft added as patch 1.101, and this aircraft plus the next aircraft I'm going to be working on the Spade for. However, I will have to, well, at the time of this recording, I will be away because it's Thursday as I record it. And obviously this is going out on a Monday. During the weekend, I was away for a few days, so obviously I've made an announcement on the Discord server, and you would have seen a pinned comment on the. I think I would have put it on the B-17 BS one, the review for that. But yeah, I was away for a couple of days, so the delay to the 47 will be present. I'll try and get it mostly spaded, if not spaded, before I go. But obviously, I won't be able to record it because, well, yeah, I just won't have time. But anyway, so the P-51 C-10 is one of the Razorback Mustangs, which we don't have many of these actually. Thinking about it, we have like two, if you don't include the Apache. And this aircraft is a bit different from those Mustangs. First off, we've got a Merlin, so we've got a bit more power. And two, we have different guns. Well, slightly different. We are armed with four 12.7mm M2 Browning machine guns with 300 rounds each. That's not a lot of ammunition. Bear in mind the D-Series Mustangs have around about 1800 rounds to share between six guns. Not a lot of ammo when you think about it. But to be fair, the armament can work, you just need to get the belts. I run uni on these. Now, the performance of the aircraft is very good. The climb rate is actually rather surprising, even stock. It will maintain 15 degrees of climb, and when the aircraft has all its spaded modules in terms of engine performance, it will easily do 17 to 18 degrees of climb without WEP. So that gives you an idea of just how much power this thing's producing. Now, personally, in terms of how it felt very much like a D-Series Mustang, like the D20. It felt very much like a D20 to fly, although this one feels better in some areas. Like this thing feels more maneuverable than the D series, which kind of makes sense, but at the same time, German pilots be aware because this thing can actually turn with yak nut. Well, it can actually turn with yaks. It can actually turn with 109s very, very well. Let's put it that way. And the guns are more than sufficient to take down your opponent that you'll be fighting. Now, as you will notice, this is a Red Tails Mustang. This is one of the Tuskegee Airmen's birds, and it actually comes with a unique pilot model. It actually comes with a black pilot, which I don't think we've ever seen that in the game, which I have to admit they've gone into a lot of depth with this, and I really like that. The model looks amazing. The pilot, like the actual plane itself, looks amazing because, well, if you don't know me, I'm a sucker for silver planes. I love planes that have this color, and it's a gorgeous plane. What more can I say? So obviously we do have the same engine as the D20, producing 1630 horsepower on WEP, 1490 off WEP. It's sufficient till you get about to 24,000 feet, which is about 7,500 to 8,000 meters. Then the power starts to drop off quite severely. But if you keep the fight below that, this thing will be producing a lot of power, and it will really keep you in your stride. Now, in this battle, it's going to be one of those stock, shall we say, it was a stock battle that we had in this aircraft. I didn't actually have any modules unlocked because the second battle wasn't finished yet, and obviously I was flying with Raptor Jesus, one of my subscribers, and also one of my moderators on my Discord server. So we didn't want to wait. We just wanted to continue on with the plane. So at the time of this battle, I only had belts. Just bear that in mind. But obviously, we're not going to go into the battle just yet. We're going to go into the actual in-depth review of the Spade. I'll see you in a couple. So as you can see, we're on my desktop once again, and we are onto the P-51 C-10. So, first battle, which actually went pretty reasonable. I mean, I did have to J out because the team was dead by the time I got up there. But first battle was 2 air kills, no ground kills, no assists. I didn't die because I J'd out on the airfield. 14,349 SL, 3,887 SL. Base bombing was irrelevant as I never bombed in this aircraft, so I'm not going to mention it, just to reiterate. Next battle was battle 2 with Raptor. 3 air kills, no ground kills, 1 assist. I did die, 49,212 SL, which is quite impressive. This thing's got pretty good modifiers. Helps when your team wins as well. And 1,016 RP. Third battle, which is the one you're going to be seeing today. 7 kills, air kills, no ground kills, no assists, no death, 87,222 SL, 7,631 RP. Battle 4 was one where I had to put my tail between my legs and run. 0 air kills, 0 ground kills, 0 assists, no death because I drained out the airfield, 2,426 SL, 697 RP. Battle 5 was 2 air kills, no ground kills or assists. I did die in that battle, 13,418 SL, 814 RP. Battle 6 was 1 air kill, 3 ground units, 0 assists, no death, 13,738 SL, 1,461 RP. And finally, Battle 7, which I did about 5 minutes ago, 0 air kills, 4 ground kills, 0 assists, no death, 7,986 SL, and RP was 1,037. So that comes up to 15 kills across the Spade and 2 deaths, for those who are curious and don't want to do basic math, because, well, who likes doing math, let's be real. But overall, I'm really impressed with the aircraft, and, well, there's a skin to unlock on it, which I'll show in the hangar before we get into the actual battle, so I'll see you in a couple. So we're back in the hangar, and, well, here's the skins for the aircraft. Now, one of them is only purchasable by GE, but the one I'm going to be grinding for eventually is the kitten camouflage. It really suits this aircraft. Obviously, it only adds a little bit to it, like it has yellow parts to the trim and stuff like that, and it adds a little bit of writing across the engine cowling and stuff like that, but it really suits the aircraft. We then have top of 3, which again looks really nice. I love the checkered look, and again it does differentiate it by having blue areas across the trim tabs. Looks very nice, and personally this aircraft suits both camouflages very nicely as well as the stock camouflage. So, should we get into the battle? And let's have a look at what I got up to in the P-51 C-10. Like I say, this at the time of this battle, this aircraft only had belts. Performance-wise, it was pretty much stock. Just bear that in mind, because you're going to need your back brace and probably a bit of popcorn for how intent. Well, in fact, no, don't bring popcorn because you might choke on it. Because, well, we don't want any choking hazards, do we? So, in this battle... That's a bit loud, isn't it? In this battle, I was joined by Raptor Jesus, aka Admiral 6Y2, as you can see in his PBJ-1H. He's going to lend a little bit of a hand by taking out one of the P-47s, so that was at least a benefit. So that's always nice to have. So, recommended climb angles. I tend to climb stock at 15 degrees. It can maintain that pretty nicely. You've just got to watch your temps, because it does overheat, but on some maps, not like this one, this map's a little hot. On some of the maps that I had, it actually ended up being pretty okay in terms of temperatures for the aircraft, and it actually managed it rather well. So this matchmaker was all over the place. We had a P-63, we had an Italian G-55 Sota Series 0, we obviously had the US aircraft such as the C-10s, we had the Swedish, and it was just all over the place. So unfortunately, Admiral's just, well, I'm just going to call him Raptor because I can't be bothered. Raptor's just gone down, but it has taken that P-47 with him to the grave, who was about to crash in a short moment. He was in the D-28, thankfully, because if that thing would have lived, I'd have been probably screwed in this battle. But luckily the P-47 does go down, and, well, Raptor does get his kill, so that's always something. Now, just because this aircraft has a good rate of climb doesn't mean you shouldn't side climb, like what I'm doing right now. I'm currently side climbing. This is what I tend to do in most US aircraft, and I will be doing that in the P-47, but obviously I fly it, which I'll probably do it after some lunch, because, well, it's about 11:30 right now, so I'll probably just finish this up and then get some lunch, because, well, who doesn't love a bit of lunch, because why not? So yeah, back to the battle, and well, as you can tell, the team is starting off pretty poor. I mean, we're already 4 planes down. Obviously, Raptor did take a plane with him to the grave, unlike the other idiots on my team. And this tended to happen for the most part. I tended to fight German teams in this aircraft, and I only fought the Japanese a couple of times, and the teams are trash, to put it simply. Now, I have heard from a little birdie that there is apparently a bug with the matchmaking at the moment. Apparently, due to queue times, this aircraft can potentially fight 5.3 aircraft. I don't know if this is true, because I think the other day we was in a squad with a 4-3 plane, so yeah, we was with Shadow. He brought out his British Thunderbolt. I don't know if this is true, but I haven't seen it yet, so just bear in mind you might see a 5-3 plane, just because of the matchmaker. So at this point, obviously, Raptor's spectating me. We are on voice chat on Discord, and yeah, he was just like, "Are you going to turn in and help your team?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to have to at this point. I've not got as much altitude as I'd want, but it's going to have to do." And at this point, I decided, okay, I'll level out the plane, start winding her up, and get her going, because I need all the speed I can get. And as you can tell, on the left, my team is already half dead. Very soon to be 3/4 dead. This was the sort of player base that I had to deal with for most of the Spade. As you'll notice from the last couple of battles in the in-depth part, yeah, the teams were pretty terrible. The last battle, the team collapsed, but we was down to like 400 enemy tickets, so I just went in and farmed on some pillboxes. Now you're going to see him later in that P-47. That fire does go out. You'll see him later. But obviously I'm keeping my speed up. That's what you have to do. You have to keep your speed up. If you get slow, you are dead. Simple fact. For anyone that's curious about belts or anything, 500 meters convergence, which is what I ran on this aircraft, and universal belts, just in case anyone wants to know that. Because I know some people like to know what certain people run. Because of the because of the weight of shot being lower than a D-Series Mustang, and obviously having 50 cals instead of 20mm, like on a, I think they call it the P-51A, or the P-51B, or whatever, the US one with the 20mm, I can't remember which one they actually call it, but pretty much that aircraft is different. I would probably run 600 meters on that, and just go from there. So at this point, my pilot's almost blacking out. I pull up to deal with the Pyramidski, I set him on fire, and I keep on going, because the D-Series, or the C-Series Mustang behind me is, well, he's important, but obviously I don't know how much he's spaded. And as you can tell, it's only me left. I'm against, well, now it's 6 enemy aircraft at this current time. That's a lot, isn't it? That's a lot of pressure. But obviously, I think Mr. 8GIF didn't actually know that he could outrun me if I think he had some mods on his plane. I'm not sure. But he does turn in to try and fight. I do get a shot here, which will end up getting a crit. And I do have higher speed than him, and I'm planning to keep it that way. So I pull the plane up into the vertical to try and get him to drain his speed. I drop the combat flaps, and I bring the plane back around for another pass on him. Fair play to him, he at least tried to put up a fight. Killed up a 3. That leaves me with the P-47 that you saw earlier and I set on fire, but obviously he's going to get back to his base. That also leaves me with 2 B-25s and 2 P-61 Black Widows. Or as we call them on the Discord server, Scarlett Johanssons. Because why the hell not? It's nice to differentiate. But we've got long odds ahead of us. Let's put it that way. We've got 11 minutes left of this battle. Obviously, some of that is me returning to base, so I'll just skip ahead for that. Now, there is a couple of things that I've noticed about this aircraft, which I thought I'd make aware. This thing can't take a single hit from flak. If it gets hit by flak, both fuel tanks seem to burst into flames. The damage model doesn't seem to be very good on this aircraft. And obviously with only having 1200 rounds between 4 heavy machine guns that eat through ammo like crazy, you're gonna be low on ammo quite a lot. In some situations, it's not good. Right now I'm down to about 600 rounds, I think, in this part of the battle. I think I was down to either 600 or 800. And this P-61 is trying the old trick of trying to turn inside of my turn, but this Mustang handles a little differently to the other Mustangs. 2 fires, he's going to burn down very shortly for my 4th kill. And down he goes. Obviously I wanted to prioritise the P-61 first, and well, there's the second, and he's actually going to be rather cheeky about it. He's going to try and use that top turret because he's used his bombs, his guns are out of ammunition after farming, and there's not a lot he can do when there's a P-51 C-10 above him. So he jumps on his turret now, he's swinging the turret back round and he's trying to get shots on me. I come in from a very awkward angle for both him and me, but that's fine by me. I can set 2 fires, so that's no big deal. He's going to burn down, and that is the ace. Still got more to go though, guys. Yeah, we've got more. I honestly didn't think I could pull this off. I was actually debating J'ing out after that, personally, but I thought it's a single P-47 and 2 B-25s. I think I can do this. Unbeknownst to me, however, there's a B-25 rushing our runway. Luckily, one of the B-25s has just crashed and took himself out of the game. And this is where Euclid's 23 starts coming in like a bat out of hell. I don't know what the hell he thought he was doing, but I know the 50's better than you do, buddy, and I know how to dodge. I do get a crit on him, he starts flying into the airfield flak. And, well, he's going to get shredded very shortly. He's going to crash and I'm going to get my 6th kill on him. But he wants another head-on first, because B-25 pilots, they're aggressive little bastards. And obviously I'm trying to wind the Mustang up. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to accelerate, but I just can't at the moment. I've got a P-47 above me, and I've got a B-25 making another turn for me. I cut inside of the P-47, making it very awkward for him to get a shot. I fire another shot into the B-25 and damage it even further. And it's only a matter of time before the B-25 falls out of the sky for my 6th kill. And here comes the 47 again. There goes the B-25 for kill number 6. And once again, I'm on the defensive. He has higher speed than me. I thought he was going to hit a tree then. He's got higher speed. He's got better armament for the start. And at this point in time, he has the better advantage. And likely a spaded bird. But I know this pony better than he does. So I started doing the best that I could to at least try and keep an advantage, even if I was outgunned, outperformed for the most part, and I was outnumbered, but obviously we managed to make it a 1 versus 1 scenario. So at this point, the P-47 starts taking it into a climb, which, I mean, I can understand why he'd do that, but at the same time, this wasn't the best decision for him. His best hope would have been to have extended a bit further and not engage in the way that he did. Now I do make a mistake, which I'm going to point out, and this is where I make the mistake. Luckily I get away with it, but don't push your luck. So I pull up to take the shots at the P-47, obviously I dodge out of the way. Had he had more speed, and I hadn't kicked the rudder so hard, he would have likely had a shot. That could have likely ended this very badly and I would have died on 6 kills, which would have been very disappointing. It's very likely that the enemy team was giving this guy advice on how to fly his aircraft, because I don't know if this, I don't know the player card of this player very well, and from what Raptor told me, he was about average. So I reckon the Russian pilot in the P-47, or maybe Zion Shah Asinable, or however you say that, was lightly telling him what to do. I did score a couple of hits there on the P-47, and at this point I'm trying to wind the Mustang up, because, well, he's heavy, I'm somewhat heavy, but I've got better weight and better powder weight. So I'm trying to accelerate, I'm trying to get the plane wound up, and it's taking time. You've got to remember this thing is stock in terms of its performance. I'm just going to bounce us ahead to the final confrontation. At this point, the 47 pulls up into the vertical, drains all his speed, and, well, I'm able to get a shot in, that takes out the pilot. And that is kill number 7. And with that, the end of this match. So like I say, the P-51 C-10, I really had a blast with it. It's a very impressive aircraft, and I have to admit, this has really been a lot of fun to play. Obviously, I'm going to be moving on to the Razorback P-47 very shortly, and, well, let's put it this way, that it was a lot of fun to actually do this aircraft. Like, I've not had this much fun in a Mustang in quite a while. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed today's video on the P-51 C-10, and I will catch you all on the next one.